Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schweim here on 97.3 ESPN. Beautiful, beautiful sunshine Saturday, sunshine-drenched Saturday. Of course, the remnants of Hurricane Dorian went riding by yesterday. It was a soaker, but the waves are huge, and I know there's the Dean Randazzo surfing tournament contest is being held down in Margate right now, and if you're in the area, get on down to the Margate Beach right in front of Lucy, and see some great surfing going on here. The waves are pretty big, a little bit, a little overhead, nice and clean coming in. There is a current blowing south, but it's make for a great day of surfing. A lot of people down there on the beach for the Dean Randazzo surfing tournament for it benefits cancer research. So Surf for a Cure, Dean Randazzo, get down there. Of course, that devastation in the Bahamas was unbelievable. So I know if people can donate, find a local charity, and if you can get some relief supplies, send it down there. I had an opportunity to surf in Abaco Island years ago. We flew into Marsh Harbor, and then we had to take a boat to the Abaco, Elbow Cay Island. And there were hardly any cars on the island. I can only imagine. I mean, you could see from one side of the island to the other. You could literally throw a stone, and you could go from the windward side, I guess it's called, to the wayward side. It's so thin, and now I can't imagine a hurricane of that magnitude probably just wiped it right off the face of the earth. But a lot of devastation down there. So donate if you can. Hey, big show lined up today. We're going to be preempted. We're only going to be on for an hour today. College football countdown to kickoff with Nick Costco will be on. And then, of course, we'll have Rutgers football after that. We'll be talking with Nick here in a little second. We'll have a nice crossover with Nick and Josh. We're going to be talking with Adam Talafaro, good friend of the show. Adam Talafaro played defensive back for the Penn State Nittany Lions. And he suffered a pretty serious neck injury while playing, and he's made a full recovery. So we'll have an opportunity to talk to Adam Talafaro about Penn State Nittany Lion football and, kick it around with him for a little bit. Josh, a wild week on the radio. Started off with Wednesday night with our fantasy football draft.
Didn't really start Wednesday night.
I probably started before that.
I was going to say.
But, boy, did I get ripped. Boy, did I get ripped.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
I love it the way people think that my team stinks. All right? And they're the people that are going to be surprised when I pass them by. But I want to say right here and now that there was a lot of problems with the website. And I don't think it was fair. I'm going to pay my league fee. All right? But I was blocked out from picking who I wanted to pick. Is there any reason why that happened, Josh?
So there's a few things to review here. Number one, for anybody who has not been keeping up with the saga that is As the Fantasy Football World Turns with 97.3 ESPN, the latest iteration is that Wednesday night was our draft, okay? And I had purposely made it for 9 p.m. because Deshaun asked me to make it 9 instead of 8. Which
it was going to be for 8, but he asked you to postpone it.
Right.
Or postpone it till 8 or 9.
Right. So what happened was that earlier in the day, and Bill, you saw the conversation. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff going on. Mike Kay was looking about trading his first overall pick. People were questioning about, different things. Was Eitan even going to be there? Who's going to be the auto
That was all fun.
Right.
It was all the interaction. I get it.
So when we finally got to the actual draft, I'm getting messages from you. I'm getting messages from Eitan. I'm getting messages from Mike Gill. I'm getting messages from Ryan. And I'm getting messages from the group chat.
And I heard you didn't leave the gym until like 5 minutes off.
Well, I was in the group at the gym.
On your phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, you can do that in today's world.
But you weren't situated as the commissioner. You weren't situated in front of the computer with like 15 minutes to go.
No, I was not. Because at 7-something that night, I was so exasperated with everything because it's been a crazy week here at the radio station.
Okay.
You know how it is this time of year.
Sure.
Bill's been around me long enough to know that there's a difference between Josh working hard and Josh losing his mind. They're two different stages of reality.
Oh, yes.
So, I was like, I got to go to the gym. I got to work out some of my stress and exasperation with everything. Not even with the fantasy league. The fantasy league was the least of my concerns at that point. Because on my side, as the commissioner, it showed everybody was there, right? It showed everybody, like, you logged
By the way,
in.
I heard you the other day saying that I was the very first person in. I logged in at like 8:25. Okay, I logged out, but then I logged back in.
Well,
and there was no other names on the list but mine.
It doesn't have I don't have a time log.
But you can see who's on at the
I
at that
can
present
see
time.
who's in. I don't have a time log of who logged in first. So you may or may not have been the first. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. As long as everybody's there to draft their pick, that's all I cared about.
I get it.
But the problem was that when the draft was coming down, I'm hearing from half of the people in the league that they're having problems. Some people say they can't get in. Some people say that, I had somebody tell me that their pick auto-picked. All right?
And I saw two people it said auto pick. Didn't even say their name. It just said auto pick.
Correct. So there were people having trouble getting in the group. There were people having trouble doing everything. So, and at that point, I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm just going to pause the draft.
Because I want to set the record straight. You guys, people are accusing me of being in cahoots with Mike Gill because I tried to pick Le'Veon Bell.
But you're not.
Which I didn't even speak with him the whole day. I tried to pick Le'Veon Bell not once but twice. And Josh, do you know when it showed up on the board it said QUE when you what was that QUE the Q. Well,
yeah.
right, or Q. And then when it was your turn to draft, it would go green. It said pick. It said draft. I mean,
right. And
it didn't do that for me.
And there's like a handful of seconds before you're allowed to pick. Like, the music goes off, but then
Right.
it's like a countdown timer.
Right.
Until you're actually allowed
All
to
right.
make a pick.
The first two times I picked Le'Veon Bell, it didn't show up on my board. All right, it didn't show up on my board. I could see it on the message board. It said locker room pick Le'Veon Bell, but it wasn't registering on my screen.
Well, I don't know.
So
how
wait,
your
then you
screen
stopped it.
Well, so I don't. Time out. So first of all, from what I understand, and I can't believe we're having this conversation at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
No, because I was getting ripped on the radio, and I didn't appreciate it. That's why I called in.
But from what I understand, Gil, Ryan, me, you, I'm adding you to the list now, Eitan, everyone had a different, the way it looked on their screen. So I don't know if that's an ESPN thing, because we're doing ESPN's website. I don't know if the ESPN thing, I don't know what reason that is. What I do know is that I had all of you guys telling me we had problems. So I paused it. My theory is that, look, I don't want anybody at the end of the draft to say, I couldn't get in, I couldn't make my picks,
Right.
and then try to delegitimize the league. You know how that is.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not you.
Right.
Because I know you. You wouldn't be this guy. But there's always that one guy, and it's not you, Bill. It's not Nick Costco either. Just to, de-incriminate anybody in the room. There's always that one guy, when things don't go their way, they basically make the entire season miserable for everyone.
I'm not going to do that.
I know
Things
not.
did not go my way.
I just
right.
said,
I know.
you're not
I'm not
that
going to
guy.
do that.
But-
But I am pissed off.
I knew as soon as if I didn't pause this league, that there was going to be somebody in the league who would turn into the malcontent, and we'd all be miserable all year, and we wouldn't even want to play fantasy football anymore. So that was my thinking. So I'm like, look, I'm going to get in my car, pause it, drive because my gym is literally a few minutes down the street.
Okay.
Drive a few minutes down the street back to the station, get on the computer, and visually do a roll call. Who is actually here? And you remember the chat, I said, roll call, please.
Right.
And at one point, the only people who were not there were Mike Gill, and I think the other one was Ryan. Had logged off at one point to restart his connection. So once they were there, I said, all right, we're going to start from scratch. And I just...
But see, here's the
Clear
problem.
and resume.
Here's the problem. 5 people had already picked, me included,
Right.
because I was the 5th pick, maybe even 6th.
You were
When
fifth.
you stopped it, you stopped it twice. Is that correct?
I did. Because
All
what
right.
happened is on ESPN's website, we got to go to break here in a few minutes,
I know.
but on ESPN's website, they give you different options. You can pause it for like a few seconds. You can pause it indefinitely. You can pause it for like an hour. You can like they give you way too many options. I hit the pause for only like 30 seconds option.
Okay.
So that's why I resumed at the repause.
Once we resumed, I took heat for taking David Johnson.
Which I don't think
what happened was he was the only one that I could pick. When I hit when we came back on, that was the only block that showed up. I couldn't take Le'Veon Bell. He wasn't there.
So
he wasn't on my screen.
I cannot speak to what was on your screen.
All right, that's what I'm just saying. So that's where the problem is.
If you tell me that something wasn't on your screen, all I have is that.
Put it this way: I was up in my man room, and I know we have to break. I was in my man room, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs. My daughter woke up and go, "Daddy, what's wrong?" That's how frustrated I was. That's how frustrated I was. I couldn't do anything. And I know all you young guys, call me get off the lawn like I don't know how to work my computer. But I'm telling you what I had in front of me. I didn't have, all I had was David Johnson. That was it.
Full disclosure, Hunter did send me a picture of him showing you setting up on Sunday to get into the league. So it's not
hard. I mean, it wasn't all you did hit a button. It wasn't that big of a deal. He wasn't showing me. He stood over my shoulder and I just did it. Come on, Hunter. Look, as he sneaks out of the, as he like kind of slowly sneaks out of the studio. Well, I'm going to pay you today, all right? I'm going to do it on the air. I'm going to hand you my $50, and I'm clear.
Frankly, I wasn't worried about that.
Right.
And it's not $50. It's $25.
Oh, that's all it is $25?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. It's up the ante, man.
Look, half of us are broke, okay? You know, guys like me and Costco work basically gazillion hours.
Well, I hear you're going to make money off of Eitan Shander. Every time he wins bets, he's going to give you a percentage.
Well, Eitan's trying to dispute that, you know.
I think he should, man. You make a bet, you say something, you got to follow through with it, right?
Harry says Eitan should give me 10%. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he should. He should give it.
You think 10%?
At least.
Okay,
absolutely.
So we got 3 votes now for 10%.
Yeah.
Eitan's probably not listening because he's probably installing a new light bulb in his studio.
Or shooting bugs or something.
Yeah, the bug zapper.
All right. Barb's Harley-Davidson is a sponsor of the first hour of the locker room. Phillies and New Jersey's #1 Harley-Davidson dealership. Visit barbshd.com today. Barb has the area's largest selection of new and used Harleys around. That's Barb's Harley-Davidson, where no one walks. Go to barbshd.com today. Hey, if you're looking for a brand new bicycle, buy a bike from Anarelli's Bicycles. Located at 1014 Asbury Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey, owners Mark and Mike insist that after the sale, it's the service that counts. With a complete line of bike accessories and same-day repair service. That's Anarelli's Bicycles, 609-399-2238. Hey, you want to get your day started off right with the best breakfast at the Jersey Shore? Look no further than Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Family owned and operated since 1962, Uncle Bill's Pancake House is a Jersey Shore tradition with 8 locations from Ocean City to Cape May, featuring 30 types of pancakes, waffles, crepes. Uncle Bill's has something for everyone. Stop in at one of their 2 Ocean City locations and try my favorite, the stuffed French toast with homemade cinnamon butter. There's something for everyone, from fresh cut fruit cup, gluten-free pancakes, or fluffy stuffed omelets that are excellent. Can't go wrong with anything on the menu. Go to Uncle Bill's Pancake House, 8 locations along the Jersey Shore and 2 in Ocean City, and I guarantee you'll get a great breakfast with fantastic service and a smile. All right, when we return, we'll continue in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room just to let everybody know how bad so people want to know how bad my team is. I have my quarterback is Carson Wentz. David Johnson is one of my running backs.
Hold on, let's go move by move here. So go ahead. So Carson Wentz is a good pick.
All right, Carson Wentz is my quarterback.
Yeah.
David Johnson is my running back from Arizona.
And it's not a bad pick.
It's not a bad pick.
Because he's going to get a lot of touches. It's a PPR league. In that Arizona offense, they're going to use that guy as a weapon.
All right. I have Devontae Freeman from Atlanta.
Devontae Freeman's going to get more carries this year because there's no Tevin Coleman in Atlanta anymore.
Sammy Watkins is my what? I guess
wide receiver.
But I think I got him in.
We have 2 flex options.
All right, yes.
Yeah, the one is a running back wide receiver slash. So for example, I wanted to make it so that maybe somebody has way more running backs than usual, way more wide receivers.
Right.
This gives you the opportunity to not waste a spot and have to decide.
All right, Sammy Watkins. What do you think of him?
It's underwhelming.
It's underwhelming.
It's underwhelming. It's not horrible, but it's underwhelming only because of the fact that in that Kansas City offense, he's going to be either the second or third option. No, I mean, the third or fourth option most of the time, because the top two options are Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, but I think Kansas City and Mahomes are going to spread that around. A lot of people are going to get a lot of touches down there.
Well, and that's the reasoning. If you're going to draft Watkins, that is your reasoning.
Juju Schuster.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Right.
Which I think was the smartest pick of the draft by you.
Thank you.
When you immediately made that pick, I knew that you had done your research.
I had, and here's another thing. I get frustrated when things don't go right. I get frustrated. You've seen me. When things don't go right on the computer, I go nuts. That by me not being able to get Le'Veon Bell, I went nuts. It kind of like threw me off for like I couldn't even think straight. I was so pissed.
Well, you still rebounded.
I did rebound.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson.
I don't think it's a bad pick. I mean,
he's going to get the ball a lot.
I don't know about a lot, but he's going to get it enough for it to be of value.
He's it's either going to be him or Alshon.
Well, you forget about Ertz.
And Goddard, but I still think that he's going to get some.
The priority in the offense is going to change everything.
He averages 19 yards a catch.
Yeah, that's all time best.
All right, then I have Hunter Henry from the Chargers, and you know that he's going to get a lot of work.
The only problem I have with Hunter Henry, and the purpose I stayed away from him personally, was because I don't like the injury history.
All right. Then I have Anderson. I have Robbie Anderson from the Jets.
Robbie Anderson is going to be the number one target in the Jets offense. All right. He's also in a contract.
Overwhelming or underwhelming? Or just right?
No, it's just good.
Solid pick.
It's just a good pick.
I got the Bears defense. By the way, they got me 17.8 points on Thursday night.
Yes.
Because that game was so exciting.
Come on, it was exciting. It was just a defensive battle.
It was horrible.
It's defense.
All right, is that what it was?
Defense.
I just think they just a sloppy play game.
Roquan Smith was everywhere.
And then my kicker is Will Lutz.
I mean, Will Lutz has been a top 5 kicker in fantasy football for a couple of years now.
Everybody accused me of things that weren't true. When I heard, like I was listening on the app and I'm like, wait a second, these guys, everybody's from Eitan to Ryan, everybody's Mosher mischaracterizing my picks.
Well, it's because everyone was focusing on the Corey Clement pick.
One guy, and I picked him in with my 13th pick.
I think it was like the 14th round, Costco.
It was like the fourth.
Billy picked.
It was
Corey Clement.
Nick, you're the only one that I think stuck up for me. And then they asked you another question. You were gone.
Well, Nick, first of all, Nick's a busy guy. Second of all, Nick had the whole draft at one point in front of him.
I did have the draft at one point.
It was like in the 13th round that I got.
Well, you took Clement in the 14th round.
All right.
All right. So the way I see it is, usually these drafts are about 16 rounds, but we have a bit of an expanded roster, so it's 18 rounds.
Right.
I'm not I mean, I love Corey Clement as a player, but as a fantasy player, what are you going to do? I think what we were really busting your chops over was the fact that you took a defense within a single-digit round. At round 9, took the Bears defense.
It was around 9.
Yes.
All right. Where did everybody start picking them? 10 and 11.
Usually,
so I was one round two.
Well, let me give you.
And I got 17 points out of them. Look what I just scored.
Let me give you my standard.
Answer.
I would say fantasy draft. I would say strategy each year. I usually wait till in a standard 16 draft or 16 round draft.
Right.
I'll take a quarterback earliest round 7, round 8.
And I got him in 6 or 5. 5 or 6, I think.
A little early, but it's Wentz. I would have done this. I have him in a couple of leagues too, so I would do the same thing. What I would do though, usually I take a quarterback between rounds 7 and 10, my first one, backup quarterback towards the end, but I don't take a defensive kicker till the very end because you need depth. You need depth, particularly a running back.
And really quick, if I could jump in, the whole draft got thrown off because of one person. It wasn't Billy. And this person has not been criticized at all. And I tried to bring it up with Eitan. He didn't want to hear it because all Eitan cared about was personal grievances.
He had auto on it, a couple of picks I saw.
Eitan had his own personal grievances that were much more important.
Well, Josh, whatever you say, I'm probably going to agree with you because I think I saw it very early on.
Scott Grayson ruined the entire draft.
See, I wasn't even aware of
because
that.
he picked Pat Mahomes in the first round.
He picked him.
Did he really? And they're breaking my stones?
10th overall pick.
Okay, and then
you know why I didn't bring anything about that up, because once somebody does that, it's a panic move, and then you just say, all right, that's good for everybody else.
Well, because here's what happened.
I didn't even realize that.
And this is only from my perspective because I was working while we were running the draft. So I was doing logs over here, so I wasn't 100%.
Yo, Nick, you might as well sit down. You just sit down and join me.
Sit down.
What the heck's wrong with you? You stand there like he's like.
Well, maybe
sit down, relax.
I sit for a living. Come on, man. You know this.
So really quick. So I wasn't fully paying attention at one point. So I'm looking over at the draft, because you look to see who's available,
Right.
right? We all do that.
Yeah.
So I look over and I'm like, wait, Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson are going? So what happened is Grayson takes Pat Mahomes in the first round.
Oh, I'll rip Deshaun all day.
Deshaun took Lamar, I think, in what, the
Lamar
third
Jackson.
round?
Yeah, that's just
Okay,
no.
so
So
like-
why was I the butt of everybody's jokes when every other
The
people?
only-
You guys were all breaking. Not just you guys, and not you, Nick. Actually, you've made a couple comments on the text board. But why was I the butt of everybody's jokes?
I was just trying to provide
You're an easy
clarity.
target.
Is that what it is? I'm an easy target.
I was just trying to provide clarity when I came in because I was running around doing a bunch of things. I happened to come in studio and I knew Eitan and Harry were going to talk about the draft at 1 o'clock.
And also don't forget about the fact that Eitan declared Nick the only honest person in our group.
So there you go.
So like Nick had
Well,
to get on
how'd you win that moniker?
Oh, because I was cracking the best jokes, I think.
Oh, is that what it was?
On draft
So
night.
you know what? Here's all I got to say is, I am going to go nuts when I start winning. If my team starts to come through, you're going to see. I'm going to be all over the text board, all over the message board, and I am going to be
You need to get in the group
gloating.
chat.
I'm going to be spiking it in the end zone. Let's put it that way.
You also got to get in the group chat. And that's the
All
other
right.
thing. The whole purpose of our group chat on the Facebook Messenger is so we can talk to each other throughout the season. I love how as soon as the draft ended, nobody wants to talk to each other anymore.
Let's talk smack, baby. Let's get it on.
That's what the Messenger's for.
I just want to clarify that I wasn't even defending anybody. I was just trying to clarify what was going on.
Nick was trying to be fair and balanced.
I was trying to be fair
Well, he
and
did
balanced.
stick up for me once, and then all of a sudden you unloaded on me a couple times.
Well,
and that's fine. I can take it.
Well, I only unloaded because I was going along with it. It was Eitan's theory was the fact that, obviously, whatever technical difficulties you had, Billy, you're the only one who saw them. Nobody else saw your technical difficulties. So, and I did side with Eitan.
Well, you can ask my wife and my daughter. I was screaming at the top of my lungs.
That's fine, but when we see you take Le'Veon Bell twice,
And then it wouldn't pop up for me. It just wouldn't. It wasn't
I'm
there.
just saying the optics were bad, like Eitan said. Once you take Le'Veon Bell twice, and then Gil gets stuck with David Johnson, all of a sudden you take David Johnson over Le'Veon Bell, little suspicious.
All right, let's see what
Just
happens.
saying.
All right. The first hour of the locker room is sponsored by Barb's Harley Davidson, Phillies and New Jersey's #1 Harley Davidson dealership. Visit barbshd.com. Barb's has the area's largest selection of new and used Harleys around. That's Barb's Harley Davidson, where no one walks. Go to barbshd.com today. Of course, Barb's a great American. She does a lot for veterans, the military veterans, active duty, first responders, the police. She does it all. Barb's a great American. Hey, I want to tell you about Maserati of the Main Line. If you're in the market for an exotic luxury car, then take a drive to Maserati of the Main Line. Visit Michael Pileggi and the staff with an open invitation to examine the most innovative, glamorous, high-powered automobiles on the market. Maserati of the Main Line has a wide selection of exclusive pre-owned luxury cars and exotics around. Maserati of the Main Line Service Center employs the best technicians that pay attention to detail to keep your investment maintained. So add a little flair to your next vehicle by visiting Maserati of the Main Line in Devon, PA, or call their sales department at 1-888-531-8070, or go online at motml.com. Of course, Mike Pileggi is a great friend of mine, and he's been in the business for a long time. He'll steer you in the right direction. Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out the website at grimes.com.
And after you buy that real estate in Ocean City, whether it's business or residential, hey, why don't you head over to Reds Jersey Mex? You know they're open year-round right now. They're not just a summer business, they're year-round. And there's nothing better than watching college football on Saturday and the NFL on Sunday with some tacos, burritos, and quesadillas sitting right in front of you while you watch the game from Reds Jersey Mex. 11th and Haven in Ocean City, takeout or delivery at 609-399-2272. That's 609-399-2272. Or you can eat in 11th and Haven in Ocean City. That's Reds Jersey Mex.
All right, when we return, we'll talk to former Penn State defensive back Adam Talafaro. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. All right, we're back here in The Locker Room on 97.3 ESPN. And college football, man, it's here. And I saw a show on Comcast, Penn State rivalry, or it was a Penn State show. I forget the title of it, but it was really cool because it showed Coach Franklin announcing who's captains, and it was really cool. I watched the whole thing. It was really riveting. But let's bring up my first guest of the show. He's a friend of the locker room. We've had him on before. It's always great to talk to Adam Telefaro. What's up, Adam?
What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Good, man. It's always good to talk to you, Adam, especially around this time of year when football is in full gear. And I like to talk a little, just talk a little Penn State football. Though there was a show on Comcast that got me thinking about you. It was really cool. Did you see it with Coach Franklin?
Every year, Penn State unrivaled.
That's right, Unrivaled. That's what it was.
Huh?
That was really good, man. I was captivated by that. You know what? A lot of people rip the coach, some of these college coaches, and of course Franklin's been under some heat lately. But Adam, man, that was good. You can see that the parents really they like him. You know what I mean? They really believe in him.
Yeah, I think, Coach Clay, I apologize for the background noise. I'm very right in the parade.
Receptive.
So we got all the fans lining up here. But Coach Clay is a great guy. I say, ironically, when he got hired by Penn State, I was on the board of trustees at the time. I remember the first time, meeting him, he walked into the meeting and, you meet him, he acts like he's been friends with him for years. Give me a big hug, give me a cell phone number. And from that day, we talk, at least, during our off-season, at least once a month, and then he'll send me a text and saying, hey, how you doing? And I'm not, I never played for him. I'm just an alumni. So I can only imagine, just talking to some of the players, how he really makes it a family atmosphere. And I know the parents love him, and he's just been, for me, he's been a great addition to Penn State. I was a little worried when Bill O'Brien left the program, wasn't sure what direction the program was going to go in. But Coach Franklin and his staff have done a fantastic job with really bringing order back to the football program and doing a lot of great things.
We're talking with Adam Telefaro, former defensive back for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Of course, you got to play for Coach Joe Paterno, a legend in football. Talk to us a little bit about what was that like? Can you remember your freshman year walking into the football office? I mean, obviously he came down to recruit you, but when you first got there, Adam, what was that like? You saying you're like, this is Joe Paterno, man.
It was surreal, for me. I remember, you got to know him as he was recruiting me, over my, sophomore, junior year, senior years in high school. But then when you walk into a meeting room and you say, wow, this is actually my coach, you see him addressing the team, and it's still hard to believe that he's your coach. But then I remember my first practice being out there, and I played defense, I was a corner, and I remember getting beat on a deep pass, and I kind of fell down, and I stayed on the ground, and Coach Turner, yelled at me and said, tell him to send you back to Jersey. This wasn't high school football anymore, but he was just a great guy. I mean, I miss him every day. He's someone who really, instilled a lot of qualities in me that I keep with me to this day, whether it's, being on time or just being respectful. Just so many different things I can harken back to that he was just, about so much more than football, but created, I say he's the foundation of Penn State. I know Penn State was there before him, but he really put Penn State on the map.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was there for a long, long time, that's for sure. Hey, Adam, man, Penn State, and not just Penn State, but college football teams have been taking heat for their cupcake schedule in the beginning of the year. Of course, last week, Penn State beat Idaho 79-7. There's something to be. It's almost like the first two games now, like preseason games for these teams. Exactly.
I think, there's going to be something, I don't want to speak for Penn State or anyone else, but I think at some point there's going to be some changes made there because, to your point, it's a lot of these take these big paydays and get beat up on, and it doesn't really help the teams get better. I don't think Penn State got much better out of that. We got to see, some of the players, the talent that they have, but they weren't, really challenged at all. So I hope at some point we can get to playing, real, I don't have to disparage any teams, but, stronger opponents at the beginning of the year because it's just, I don't think it's fun for anyone to watch that type of stuff.
Now, you said are you at the game today?
I'm not. I'm involved in public service here in South Jersey. So we got a September Fest parade here in Pennsville, New Jersey. So we're all lining up. I'm going to hop on a fire truck and line up.
Of course, Adam, everybody remembers you for obviously, I'll never forget that fateful Saturday at Ohio State. You suffered a pretty serious neck injury, and your recovery was national news. I mean, I don't want to go back rehash what your feelings were. We talked about that in prior shows, but you were lucky that you were lucky in the sense that you were in Ohio State where they had a great medical department there.
Oh yeah, I'm just thankful for it's been 19 years this year, and I tell people without Dr. Wayne Sebastianelli, who's still the head orthopedic guy at Penn State, without his expertise, without the Ohio State staff, my outcome would have been a lot different. So I just, it's been 19 years to have that same support from
Wow.
the university, and for people to remember the injury, and even the Penn State folks, not to let the cat out the bag, but even, next year with the 20th anniversary, I know Penn State plans on doing some things with around the Ohio State game next year involving my injury. So that'll be a really neat opportunity to kind of come back and let people know that 20 years later I'm doing okay and everything's going well.
So Adam, everything is going well for you. I mean, you're physically 100%. You're doing great.
Yeah, I can't complain. From a physical perspective, I got back everything I'm going to get back. I still have a slight limp. My right side is still a little bit weaker, but I can do everything that normal. I work out every day, try to chase my kids to my son. I can't run anymore. So my son, who's 4 and knows he's already faster than me. That hurts a little bit. It's all good. I can't complain.
We're talking with Adam Talafaro, former defensive back for Penn State. What are you doing now with yourself? I know you're in the New Jersey Assembly, right?
Yeah. So part-time I work I'm in the New Jersey Assembly here at the state legislature here in New Jersey. Then full-time I work for a pharmaceutical company. I do all of our policy work. So I travel a lot around the country talking about healthcare policy. I've been working in the Bristol Myers Squibb going into my 8th year now. So I work in our legal department and our health policy department. So that keeps me pretty busy. And when fall comes around, I tell my wife, give me like 3 hours on Saturday. And 3 hours on Sunday to watch the Eagles, and we're all good.
And of course, you and I have mutual friends. Of course, Louis Capelli, the director of freeholders in Camden County, is a very good friend of mine. We grew up from kindergarten together, and then of course Frank DiGiacomo, who you keep in contact with.
Two great guys. We both want a good circle. And Frank DiGiacomo, only flaw that he has is he's a Notre Dame.
Yeah, I was gonna. Every time I see him on the beach at 24th Street in Ocean City, we sit on the beach. We hang out down there. We happen to sit at the same beach too. And every time I walk onto the beach, I sing the Notre Dame fight song. Now I don't have any affiliation to any specific school. I mean, I graduated from Rutgers at Camden, so I don't have a big major football team. So I like all of college football. But I sing the fight song for him. He gets a kick out of that.
I always joke that Frank and my brother-in-law's an avid Notre Dame fan. I was saying my favorite team outside of Penn State is when we was playing Notre Dame that week. So we
Hey, how about this kid up in Penn State, Jason Owe? He's a big dude. He runs a 4.33 40-yard dash. Can you imagine? How big is he?
He's huge. I was up there over the summer doing summer workouts. Just got to watch a couple of the workouts. And he looks like he's genetically made. And I tell you, I one of the best. I remember my first time taking a recruiting trip up to Penn State. I walked into the locker room and I saw LeVar Arrington for the first time, and I was just like in awe.
Was he chiseled out of stone?
Yeah, it looked like they were chiseled. It was just not scary. You don't want to say you're scared. I was kind of intimidated. And Jason has that same type of presence about him. And but the best thing about him, he's just a real humble, down-to-earth guy, and a guy that watching the weight room, he just works hard, and he's worked for everything he's got. I'm just hoping that he continues to have a successful season this year.
All right, well, listen, Adam, I really appreciate it. I know you're a great friend of the show. I love having you on the program because then I know that football season is here in earnest, and I really appreciate you taking time to check into the locker room today.
Same here. I appreciate you having me. As you know, anytime, my friend, and look forward to hopefully a great Penn State football season.
All right, Adam Talafaro, everybody. We'll talk to you next time, Adam. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, there's Adam Talafaro. I'll tell you what, man, I'll never forget that day. I'm sure he won't. I was watching that game live on television, and you could hear a pin drop in that stadium. Josh, do you remember that play? Back in it was 19 years ago. It's hard to believe.
So I didn't see it live. I ended up seeing it on a replay.
I saw it live.
Because that day I was watching a totally different game. I think I was watching one of the Miami games that day at that point. But you know how you see like a breaking news update.
Yeah.
For those who are today, they don't remember what it's like because now everything's 24 hours, right? You got your 200 versions of sports channels and there's 200 ESPN, and there's 5 different Fox and like. But back in the day, if you were watching a game on ABC or Fox or whatever channel you had on, and then you see the big red breaking news on the bottom line, and it's like breaking news, Adam Talaferro, serious injury, and you're like, what's going on? And then you have to go out, you got to wait till halftime. You can't go on the computer and see a highlight. So you wait till halftime, and then I saw it during the halftime show. And when I first saw it, I was just... you just felt for the guy. Like you never.
Your local guy went to Eastern Regional High School.
But even if he wasn't a local guy, like you feel for anybody who.
Never forget.
Football's a physical sport, and you never want to see anyone ever get injured. And to see someone get injured the way he did, it kind of like because at that point it was 19 years ago, like you said. You were still about 10 years removed from the Dennis Byrd incident with the Jets.
Yeah.
When he had his neck broken.
Yeah.
So there was a part of you that's kind of like. Oh, man, I've seen this before.
Man, that was scary. All right. First hour of the locker room is sponsored by Barb's Harley Davidson. Philly's and New Jersey's #1 Harley Davidson dealership. Visit barbshd.com today. Barb's the area's largest selection of new and used Harleys around. Barb's Harley Davidson, where no one walks. Go to barbshd.com today. Hey, I got a new, a great friend of mine, Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Service. Hey, if you're finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, experienced, that's important. It's very important to get somebody you can depend on. Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Service is just that, servicing Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years. Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Service specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big, no job too small. Call Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999. That's 609-399-1999. Tom accepts all major credit cards and is fully licensed. License number 9121. Hey, and another great guy that we're going to be working with, and I'll give you more details about this tomorrow. But the Jersey Man magazine and the Philly Man magazine. Just about everybody in the area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia Eagle tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware that they have a private business network called the Legacy Club? Every month they hold a private monthly events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 plus top business people. If you have interest in attending one of these events, see if you can fit into your schedule. Send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007. For more information, go to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up the first hour. Nick Costco will join us. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile. All right, we're back here in the locker room. An hour goes flying by. We're preempted with Rutgers football and the college football countdown to kickoff with my buddy Nick Costco. And he joins me right now. Nick, what's happening, man?
What's happening, Billy? It was a little tease before teasing this crossover. And we had to, of course, dive into our fantasy football fiasco, but I've had enough of that. That was on Wednesday. We're done with that.
We're done with that, and we'll just start talking smack on the message board now from now on.
That's fine.
Maybe on our show every once in a while.
That's fine with me. Whenever I'm here, yes. I'm fine with that.
All right, Nick. So you're doing a great job with the countdown to football, college football countdown to kickoff. Talk about some local teams, the Temple Owls, and I love their quarterback, this kid Russo, man. He's big dude, man.
Yeah, Temple's been one of those programs. They're not one of the Group of 5 schools that's going to contend for a college football playoff spot. You know how everyone's saying, when's a Group of 5 school going to get into the playoff? And
right.
They talk about UCF. Some people have mentioned Memphis this year. Maybe even a team like Boise State might sneak in this year if they go undefeated. But Temple's not going to do that. But at least they've been more. The program's been of utmost quality even since Matt Rule left the program to go down to Baylor. But I like what they did last week. They're off this week, but they destroyed Bucknell last week as probably expected.
Yeah, expected for that.
But they have Maryland next week, and Maryland you would think is going to be an up and down team in the Big Ten this year. They have Syracuse today, so it's going to be interesting. This will be a measuring stick for them. today, and then Temple plays them next week. So I'm actually interested to see that game for Temple next week against Maryland.
And of course, we were just talking with Adam Telefaro, former Penn State Nittany Lion. A lot of people don't have any high expectations for Penn State.
I didn't. I can tell you that right now, and they kind of proved me wrong a little bit last week.
I mean, but they came out and waxed Idaho 70.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it.
I mean, it is Idaho.
It's Idaho, but how bad is Idaho?
I mean, no, seriously. And the way I look at it is, I said, all right, no Trace McSorley, no Miles Sanders. I mean, people thought they were going to take a step back after Saquon Barkley left for the NFL and went to the Giants, and you had Miles Sanders back there, but now Miles Sanders, of course, with our hometown Philadelphia Eagles. But you had Trace McSorley, Miles Sanders last year. They were a really good football team, but now you don't have either of those guys. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, who are they going to have? And they kind of put everybody to bed at least at first with a 79-7 win over Idaho last week. So that was ridiculous. I don't know what they're going to do for the remainder of the season, but at least you have a balanced attack. And but the Big Ten's so stacked. I still don't think they're going to overtake Ohio State or Michigan in their own division this year. Maybe not even Michigan State.
And of course, you cover Rutgers football. Really, you got a magnifying glass on them. Of course, that's your alma mater. Not looking too good for Rutgers this year as far as wins and losses, but
we'll see. But hey, I know it was UMass last week, but hey, grad transfer quarterback McLean Carter looking good, and I'll tell you what. We're going to be in business. I hope so. Today's going to be an interesting game. Not that I think they are going to upset Iowa on the road, but if they're competitive today, you could see, all right, with an actual quarterback and improving South Jersey guys like Bo Melton and Isaiah Pacheco in that offense, I'll tell you what, they could be competitive this year. So it remains to be seen, but I got to wait for this week and then the bye week, and then when they play Boston College in 2 weeks at home, then I'll make my official determination whether they're going to win more than the 3 games I thought they were going to win this year.
All right. So Nick Costco with the college football countdown to kickoff. When Rutgers plays it at 12 o'clock, you'll be on from 11 to 11 to 12.
Going on.
All right, real quick. I've got 2 pairs of tickets for Rutgers Penn State.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to donate a pair for you to give away on your show, and I'll give a pair away on my show. How's that?
Absolutely. I love that, bro.
All right,
I like
there
that.
you go.
Look at that.
All
Rutgers
right.
Penn State tickets. We're going to give them away.
All right, stay
I
tuned
like
for
this.
college football countdown to kickoff with Nick Costco. And my Philadelphia Phillies, looks like they're done. They played the Mets today. I have my standing bet with my buddy Jeff Dowling. I hate the Mets. You're not a Mets fan, are you?
No.
All right.
You know this. I'm a Sox fan. I like the Phillies, but I'm a Sox fan. Phillies are done. Sox are done. It's all over.
All right. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Saturday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Tomorrow, we got a big show lined up. I'll give you all the details tomorrow on Twitter. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow.